Another frequently asked question in the wheat belly and now undoctored world is, what if I feel fine eating grains? Does that mean I gain benefit by still eliminating them? Or can I continue to eat them without worry of future problems? Well, one of the difficulties we have with grain consumption is while many adverse effects of grain consumption are overt, you can feel them or see them, like skin rashes or joint pain or ulcerative colitis or fibromyalgia, many effects are hidden and won't be perceived by you, and yet can still bubble beneath the surface and lead to long-term problems. For instance, grain consumption raises blood sugar. Few foods raise blood sugar higher than grains. Grains, many forms of grains, like whole wheat bread, raise blood sugar higher than table sugar, ounce for ounce. So high blood sugars take their toll. Not only do they lead to diabetes, prediabetes, insulin resistance, and visceral fat, inflammatory fat accumulation, like around the tummy, it also causes the process of glycation, glucose modification of proteins, which is an irreversible process. That's the process that can lead to accelerated potential for cataracts, high blood pressure, heart disease, cancer, dementia, and other conditions. So anytime you have a high blood sugar above normal, you glycate at an accelerated pace, and you also age a little bit faster. And these are irreversible changes. So those high blood sugars from a bowl of oatmeal or bran cereal or ice cream that's all sugared up are not benign. They're cumulative. Another effect you might not be aware of is the provocation of small LDL particles. That is the real cause of heart disease, not high cholesterol. High cholesterol, recall, is that crude, what I call kindergarten version of heart disease causation. It's an excess of small LDL particles, only caused by grains and sugars. Those are the only foods that cause an excess of small LDL particles. Peculiar thing about those small LDL particles that lead to heart attacks and heart disease, they last for about a week. So if you have one grain or sugar indulgence for that matter, you'll have small LDL particles for a week. So if you go off course, off the lifestyle once a week, say a bad day on Friday, you're going to have cardiovascular risk 52 weeks a year. That's how potent a factor small LDL particles are in causing heart disease. Hidden inflammation, autoimmune inflammation and otherwise, can brew for years without your knowledge and then finally shows up as a peculiar rash that won't respond. Joint pain and swelling, or gastrointestinal problems with damage to your colon, or damage to your liver or pancreas that you weren't even aware of. Those are autoimmune processes that brew for years before they become overt and you become aware of them. Changes in bowel flora. Grains distort your bowel flora. And that process likewise occurs over years. You might not be aware of it till you're constipated, or have diarrhea, or develop rheumatoid arthritis, or depression, or anxiety, or disrupted sleep. In other words, distortions of bowel flora can show up in all kinds of ways that you wouldn't even think of being started or caused by grains. That's a partial list. In other words, grains cause numerous effects that you might not think have anything to do with the grains, but they often, more often than not, do. And many conditions take many years to show up, like diverticular disease, diverticulitis, and colon cancer. So just because you feel well consuming grains does not mean you've gotten off without problems. Always realize that the problems from grain consumption are both overt, things you feel or see, but can also be silent and hidden and just brewing beneath the surface till they show one day down the road.